It was a busy morning at the Hazard Perry County Chamber of Commerce meeting, a morning full of announcements, including the introduction of a fairly new organization in our region. WYMT's Dakota Makris explains.
Led by the Eastern Kentucky Concentrated Employment Program, Prosper Appalachia works with young people in 10 counties, hoping to give them a chance to thrive right here at home. The organization works on multiple projects aimed at helping 16 to 24-year-olds from all walks of life, recognizing people need different tools to build their own success story.
Create a no wrong door approach to serving young people. And so we're doing a number of things to address that. Our flagship program is a paid summer internship program,
with emphasis on serving those who are at higher risk of becoming disengaged from their education or future career.
There's certain barriers that young people have to meet. They have to be homeless. They have to be in foster care. They have to have gone through the criminal justice system. So there's several different specific barriers.
Working with its partners like FAHI, Save the Children, and Partners for Education to prepare the future workforce. In Hazard, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
The organization announced its week-long coding boot camps in 5 different cities throughout the region.
Well, we mentioned the gorgeous looking afternoon around the mountains, plenty of sunshine, even a few of those fair weather clouds, but you step outside and think, I need to go back in and get the jacket because it is chilly outside. I-64 at Moorhead looking like a typical spring, almost summer day outside at the moment. Downtown Whitesburg, even fewer clouds there, a beautiful scene through a beautiful downtown. And the temperature, not quite as beautiful. Sitting at 51 right now. Winds out of the west at 12 miles per hour. That's almost 20 degrees below where we should be for this time of year, and some of us even cooler than that. 48 Clintwood, 49 Pikeville. It's 45, just 45 right now into Wise. So things are chilly. Winds gusting at times up to 20 miles per hour. Even so, sustained winds 15 to 20 out there. So keep that WYMT weather app handy. You're definitely going to need it, especially if you've already planted out there this spring, because we've got temperatures down into the 30s tonight. You know what that means when you get down into the 30s as those winds calm down, as they are expected to overnight. Frost and freeze alerts. Frost advisory everywhere in the light blue, everywhere in the dark purple, under a freeze warning as we head into tonight. So make sure you have that tender vegetation taken care of if you've already planted. Now, I've got the latest on when temperatures could exceed 80 degrees. That's after snow showers last night. Coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. United Airlines is making a change to its flight cancellation policy. Basic economy ticket holders are now able to cancel their flights or upgrade to a standard economy ticket for a fee. Basic economy is the cheapest option for United and was historically not allowed to be modified. The fee to make changes on domestic flights is about $100 for a round-trip flight. The fees double on international flights. Passengers no longer have to wear masks when they travel after a federal ruling made yesterday, drawing mixed reaction from travelers, airline employees, and lawmakers. CBS's Errol Barnett has more from Washington, D.C.
Transportation Security Administration will no longer enforce the federal mandate requiring masks in all U.S. airports and on-board aircraft.
Cheers erupted on flights Monday afternoon after airlines announced one by one an end to the mask mandate, dubbed by some National Unmasking Day.
It's over immediately. Congratulations.
This comes after a Florida federal judge ruled the CDC exceeded its authority. Travel industry analyst Henry Hardevelt.
How much of a surprise was this to you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, a 12.
The ruling from Trump-appointed Judge Catherine Kimball Mizelle came as unwelcome news for the Biden administration.
This is obviously a disappointing decision. The CDC continues recommending wearing a mask in public transit.
The move essentially forces the federal government out of the mask rulemaking business, a policy which increasingly led to violent altercations.
Has the age of mask mandates while traveling come to an end?
I believe the age of having to wear a mask while traveling has ended.
Now travelers may decide to mask up or not.
It's ridiculous. We're so tired of it.
It's a preventive measure. If they tell me, for example, I don't have to wear seatbelts anymore, I'll still wear my seatbelts.
Still, some eagerly embrace the end of one of the most high-profile COVID mandates.
And the end of this rule does apply to Amtrak, to your local buses, your subway, and ferries as well, unless there is a local jurisdiction rule, as is true right now in New York City. Ride-sharing company Uber has ended its mask mandate for drivers and passengers, but we do expect there to be some confusion along the way. I can tell you here at DCA, the overwhelming majority of passengers are still deciding to mask up, so you may want to keep these handy. Errol Barnett, CBS News at Reagan National Airport.
Well, COVID-19 cases for children are up for the first time in about 3 months. The American Academy of Pediatrics reports more than 33,000 kids tested positive for the week ending April 14th. Officials say that is drastically down, though, from the peak in January when more than 1.5 million new cases among children were confirmed. However, it's the first increase reported in 12 weeks. Johns Hopkins University says new cases for all age groups are up in more than half of the U.S., but the daily rate is down compared to 2 months ago. The CDC is launching a new center to help predict emerging health threats. Earlier today, the agency announced its new Center for Forecasting and Outbreak Analytics. The CDC says the center will be like the National Weather Service, but for infectious diseases, using data to guide decisions about broad public health needs. The CDC will also help people decide whether it's safe for them to go into public spaces like movie theaters. The launch is part of a broader review of CDC systems and processes. Moderna says its first bivalent COVID-19 booster shot candidate is showing promise. Bivalent vaccines stimulate an immune response against 2 different antigens. Officials say the vaccine is comprised of the current vaccine with new updates that are based on the Beta variant, and it induced greater antibody responses against Omicron and other versions of the virus when compared to the original booster. A study from Moderna scientists says the new vaccine is comparable to the current vaccine available now, but those findings are not peer-reviewed yet. Coming up on First at 4, a look at how one man is now $1 million richer thanks to a printing error.
And warmer air is on the way for later this week. I've got the full breakdown coming up next.
WYM